Lois Lane is Lois Lane. Welcome to Comics League Dark, and this is a very interesting episode. Screw it. Let's get right back to the first topic. But first off, I got Taladia Plays. What's up, brother?
I'm very excited to talk about what we guys talk about today. It got me hyped, and you know how hyped I am.
How you doing, Nick?
We're back, baby. We've never been more back.
All right. So Zack is back with WB in the biggest "what the hell is going on" news that I've ever heard of today.
Dude, wow. You just let the Zack out of the bag.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, it came out today that Warner Brothers is developing a prequel series to 300 that is going to be directed and produced by Zack Snyder.
A different prequel series than the one we already got.
Well, I don't count Rise of the Empire as a prequel series, but the point is, Zack is back with WB. Now, here's the interesting thing there. This is opening up quite a few doors that previously may have been closed.
And it opens up the possibility of restoration.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, so that's what we're kind of want to talk about because, all right. So one of the things that we kind of talked about with the Cell thing is like, it would probably be Cell because WB. Yeah, what does this mean for those who wave the flag of boycott? What this probably means, Andre, is that they'll probably go, okay, no, boycott everything with WB. That's not Zack or something like that. Geek Defense says, besides the obvious, have Zack involved on TV is a dream come true to me since the SnyderVerse proves he knows how to do long-form storytelling. Yeah, okay, so going off of what Geek Defense says, if the 300 series is popular enough, or like if they just want to, I've long said, just tell Zack, complete it as a mini-series, because again, you don't need to worry about like 4-hour movie, 5-hour movie. Just make these like hour-long episodes each week. We'll get the watch time on Max. And you can tell as many episodes as you need to.
You tell Zack to make an 8-hour movie. He'll give you. He can do it.
He can do that. But I love 300. But don't get me wrong. There's yes, there is the whole battle of Marathon. There's plenty of story you could tell. You could tell of Xerxes collecting his army. There's plenty of story if you know the story of the 300 Spartans that they could tell. Doesn't mean so. Yes. Exactly, Tavia. This is big. This is why this is big, because this just eliminated one of the biggest like barriers to Zack completing the story. Because if they're talking to each other, it was covered in Rise briefly, but there's more to story with Marathon. But my point is, the biggest barrier was like logistically selling the SnyderVerse to Netflix, continuing the story. Doing like with rights and stuff. No, but with this, if he's working with WB again, you just slash that because again, I didn't think he would work with WB again. Now, as actually, you know what? So Nick, you had thoughts about Zack and WB you wanted to share?
Well, this could be really interesting because here's the thing. Like I know. We like to pretend that Zack had like this big falling out with Warner Brothers and like, oh, maybe he's mending his fences. But the truth is, he was never really on the outs with Warner Brothers. Like, you got to remember, the Full Circle event really happened with Warner Brothers' permission. They gave him permission to screen those movies. Now, obviously, we have speculation he was going to announce something, then the Knicks did. Like, but still, he's always been on good terms with them. Like, remember, James Gunn, like he did speak highly of Zack when he first came to be. So I don't like he's not persona non grata.
Yeah, exactly. And Tavia, no, if he were to come back and complete a story, it wouldn't be like the end of James Gunn's universe. All it would be was James Gunn's over here doing his universe. Zack is over here on Max completing his story. That's it. They can operate independently. That's all it would be. It's not like one is going to cancel out the other. Well, because here's the thing. Also, Zack only had plans for like 2 other Justice League movies because that's realistically what we would get. So it's not like let's say it did. Let's say it did. There wouldn't be anything after that. Yeah. This is what they should do. I've long said. So DC has an ultimate universe. How much of a big FU to Marvel would it be if DC proves we could have 2 comic book universes operating side by side? That's it.
This can work in DC's favor because of 2 reasons. Firstly, Marvel hasn't got an established universe already, right?
Well, the multiverse. They have royally screwed up the multiverse. I think Marvel has.
Marvel has, yes, but DC has got an already established universe. All they got to do is basically fit the timeline before the Flash film, right? Which can work in their favor.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing that they could do is that this is good from a PR standpoint for James Gunn's universe because it's like, no, I'm letting this happen. All fans are welcome because there are plenty of fans that were like, okay, if they allowed Zack to complete a story, I would be more likely to give James Gunn's universe a chance. There you go. You're making those people happy. They're doing Elseworlds too. So there is all the only thing standing in the way of this happening is, guess what? The will. That's it. And you can't tell me there's not an audience for this that would make this movie big. You cannot tell me that would not happen.
Plus, it'd be like selling a lot of like tickets in theaters if Zack had his movies, finish the story.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what would be interesting is to have how old is Henry Cavill now? 43?
I think he just turned 40 something. Hang on. Cavill, I'm looking him up right now.
He's late 30s, early 40s. We can say that much.
Because
he's 41.
Because he's just turned 41, I can just imagine like an older Superman, a wiser Superman. You could tell a story for that.
Kingdom Come. You could
respectfully, I still feel like Henry's about at least 10 years away from being able to play that kind of Superman. Like, he's still relatively young. Like, I'm saying this respectfully, Kalani. I'm respectfully.
I'd say he's about the proper age to play like post-crisis Superman, and Gunn's Superman is around the age to play New 52. If I were to assign them a Superman by age. But though I wonder if Zack will be a bit busy directing. He's directing and producing. No, but Dave, my point is the very fact that this is happening opens up a lot of doors, because as long as WB comes to him and says, hey, if you want to do this, the door is open to you. That's it. Because you can't tell me they're not having this conversation right now if they're allowing him to come back to do 300. By the way, wouldn't it be hilarious if 300 is what brings him back to DC? Because 300 was originally what got him the job with Man of Steel.
That would be hilarious.
You know what would be interesting?
Yeah.
If after the 300 TV show, he gets directly to do another Man of Steel film, and it's sequel.
He does Man of Steel 2.
And he does Man of Steel 2, yeah.
That would be hashtag full circle up the crap, dude.
I'm just thinking out of the box here, right? Because if you think about it, it's over a decade since he did Man of Steel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the TV show, let's say it's a 1 season, maybe two or three seasons that he does for the 300 TV show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can see Zack doing the DC stuff again, and working with Henry, working with Gal, working with all these different actors, and then introducing more, bringing back Sasha Calle, Supergirl, and you know
the best part of the Flash. Like, I actually watched the Flash scene, and yeah, she's really good.
I can just see her coming back, but just think about it, right? She doesn't play the flat, like, you know what we got in the Elseworld Flash Supergirl. She plays the original Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
With the blonde hair and everything.
Or can I cook for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
She's Power Girl.
Ooh,
I like.
Or Galatea, and Power Girl is Sydney Sweeney.
But I'd rather not have any story credit given to Bruce Timm. What if WB tells him he could do Justice League Part 2, but he has to tie in the Doomsday Clock story for
He's
the
not
Watchmen
doing
movie? No, they're not going to do that. Likely, they're just going to tell him, complete your story as it stands, as you have. Because you know what's kind of interesting too.
Actually, let's. I want to talk on that thread. Let's say, hey, you can do a DC movie, but it has to be Watchmen. Yes, we know that Zack said that Seth's full circle, but he's still a team player at heart. And if they offer him to do a Watchmen Doomsday Clock, I think he would do it.
Problem is
Mm-hmm.
what he said at Full Circle and his relation with Jeff Johns.
Yeah,
that is the problem.
Money talks.
Yeah, interesting fact too. So you know what's kind of funny? Zack recently changed the timetable that would lead to like the Nightmare timeline from 5 to 10 years, and it would be 10 years from Justice League, and Justice League was supposed to come out in 2017. So it's interesting how we're approaching 10 years. It's almost as if Zack is like, okay, I'm arranging it so the timeline kind of changes.
You know what? That's got me thinking. It's got me thinking, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
What if he's already in? What if the motions are already in set?
That would be interesting. That exactly, because I found it pretty interesting. And Sammy pointed this out. Shout out to Snyder Queen, you awesome lady. She tweeted out that it's interesting how Zack tweeted out how Zack like changed the timeline so it's 10 years, and we're approaching the 10 years from 2017. So that would be interesting if this is like in line. And they let him announce this, and then imagine if they say it's coming out in 2027.
Yeah,
because what they could say is that the reason why we took this time to announce it could be like they wanted to announce it at Full Circle, but the reason why it was delayed because they weren't sure they had all the actors back yet, so they were like, don't announce it yet because obviously they don't want to announce it and then like Henry can't do it or Gal can't do it. So they're like, let's not do that.
In my opinion, it's very clear that there has been conversation behind the scenes. It's very clear something is happening behind the scenes that we're not aware of. And just there's too much like all the stuff with Full Circle, the stuff that Zack said. I still believe Full Circle was meant to be an announcement of something that got pulled back. But that's just my suspicion. I don't have any like proof. It's just my own gut.
Mm-hmm. Well, because here's the thing. All the movies that he made at Netflix may not have been critical successes, but they were successes in what Netflix cares about, and that's views. That proved that he can get eyes on your project regardless of DC. That proves the value of the Zack Snyder name. So it's like, hey, what's up, Nix? So it's like, you know what? Again, I bet you all this stuff was building, and they probably the new leadership at WB, because Zaslav loves money, was probably like, okay, so yeah, we're gonna go with James Gunn, but there's also this whole because you can't tell me Zaslav does not know about what happened with Zack and all that.
No, he knows.
No, he knows,
and you can't tell me he doesn't see the ones in those dollar signs that are hovering over Zack Snyder's head right about now.
Also, I would not be surprised if bringing Zack in is kind of a psychological warfare tactic against James Gunn.
He's like, we have a backup plan in case you fail.
They don't even need to say anything. The fact that like, oh wait, they're doing a 300 movie. They're bringing him back into the fold.
Well, you know what's kind of funny, Nick? You're kind of right about that because they're also expanding the Matt Reeves universe. So Zaslav is like, okay, I need these backup plans in case James Gunn fails.
So I think it's safe to say James Gunn is under the gun.
Exactly. And
I'm sorry, I have no shit.
Does this mean we're going to be getting Man of Steel 2 in the future? Okay, likely no. I think that what is likely going to happen, if this leads to what we think it's leading to, it would most likely just be Justice League's Part 2 and 3. Now, does this mean we can't get the Ben Affleck Batman movie and the Man of Steel 2 as an animated or comic book? No, absolutely not. It doesn't mean we can't get that. I'm just saying as live action. No, let me put it this way. I could be wrong. I would love to get those in live action, but likely what would happen is that it would be in like animation or comics for those.
Jared, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, buddy.
Really?
If they're okay, and this is like the rare instance where I'm gonna be more huffing the copium and hopeful than Jared here. This is gonna be a very rare instance. So buckle up, everybody. I think if they're gonna bring Zack in and have him do Justice League, they're gonna want to do a few other movies. I think if in this instance we will get a Man of Steel 2. He might not direct it. Dave, frick you. I think we will get a Man of Steel 2 because I think Henry will only come back on the condition that he at least gets a Man of Steel 2. Like,
and can you believe it? And if what Zack said is true, which I trust him, Man of Steel 2 would be Henry getting to finally be the more classic, hopeful Superman. And you know what that means? This is Zack's chance of redemption for the people that said he doesn't get Superman. Hey, what's up, Hero Mode?
Also, the other thing is Henry would be very on board with that depiction.
Yeah, because he said he wanted to do it and stuff.
Also, I think we'll get a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
Or a series. They may do it as a series. The point is, it could be live action something. And I think we could get Wonder Woman 3 if this happens.
Also, we'll need a proper Cyborg movie and another Flash movie because like Ezra will be recast.
Yeah, what they could do for the Flash one is they could go back to the original Antoine Fuqua script for the Flash. That was a team up between him and Cyborg, and then they can just recast Barry.
I know the perfect person they can recast.
We're not doing Grant Gustin. We're not doing Grant Gustin. Stop it. Ben is getting too old to play Batman. Not this version of Batman. Oh, and the Ayer cut. This makes that more likely too.
I mean, to be fair, Michael Keaton has like 30 years on Ben Affleck, and he still came back and he did pretty good.
Yeah, I highly don't like this way. Given the opportunity for these people to do these projects as they want to do them, you can't tell. And first off, anyone that tells you that the actors wouldn't come back if Zack asked them to is lying.
Also, have you heard this thing called stunt doubles?
Yeah, exactly. That's true. He wouldn't be like throwing all the punches and doing the flips.
Just imagine this, right? After doing the 300 stuff and the
Hey, Maria.
the 300 TV show, right?
Yeah.
Imagine him just doing miniseries from then on out for Warner Brothers for Zack Snyder Justice League Part 2 and 3.
Yeah.
That way, it can still get the audience engaging, talking about the series for a long-term format. Because that work, I mean, a really good prime example for this is X-Men 97, right? It was on the streaming platform, and it basically was weekly episodes, and it worked, right?
Yeah.
So,
it got people talking about it, and I'm doing very well. Sean Ashmore as Flash? Nah, I can't see him.
No, he's too old.
I would say Dylan O'Brien as Barry Allen. I think it kind of could be because that way it's not like Barry's acting not entirely like he was in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean, Dylan can kind of act in that sort of zany way.
You know who they should cast as Wally West?
You better not say Grant Gustin.
Tom Holland.
That would be interesting.
I chose a worse option than Grant Gustin.
Yeah, I know. Dave says, yeah, they definitely could. The Flash movie explained why characters could look different if they need to be recast. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Defense Navy, he's a little old, but I can see it. Yeah. So the point is, this whole thing is not impossible. It would be kind of interesting if this leads to us getting back to that like old DCEU blueprint that we had of like the Green Lantern series for Zack Snyder with Wayne T. Carr as Lantern.
Yeah, apparently they greenlit a Teen Titans movie. Like, I just think it's a little bit too early.
Well, yeah, it's a little. I guarantee you that again, they're just doing that to show. No, we're healthy. We're greenlighting crap all the way.
Yeah, that totally worked well for Disney.
With X-Men 97 being a success, no. James Gunn says he doesn't want to do that. I don't think that. Yeah. They're not going to bring back any DCAU series that have ended.
Yeah, because you have a Kevin Conroy problem. Like, even if Kevin Conroy never appears in Justice League, there will be a bat-shaped hole in that show.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Justice League is one of those properties where you can't not have Batman. If they wanted to do a series, if they wanted to give Jon Stewart his own series, let's say, that makes more sense because they can have it all take place only in space.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, by the way,
the other thing is,
Colpo de Mayo to piss off Feige. Oh God, can you imagine that?
Oh, I just had a thought.
What?
I just had a real thought. What if Cole I can't pronounce his name, right? Was the guy who did the X-Men series to do the Man of Steel film?
Oh boy,
that'd be funny. That'd be funny if that happens, right?
The other thing I want to talk about is Zack, being his cryptic self, took to Vero 2 hours ago, well, 3 hours ago now, the same day that this got like announced by Variety, and posted this. A picture of him on the BVS set, and I believe that's like the moment when like Superman dies and it flies over the city and it's empty. So interesting. Is there any prequel comics to 300? I know there's a Xerxes series, and that might be like the story of Xerxes. So I'm telling you, so if Zack is back to his regular like cryptic self, something is going on.
I'm telling you, bro, something's happening behind the scenes.
Our boy is cooking.
Something is happening behind the scenes.
And you better believe that if this is announced that he's gonna complete his DC movies, we're gonna do a movie night month where it's just his DC movies.
Yeah,
we'll do Man of Steel, BVS. Okay, we need a third movie, Wonder Woman, because that had his influence in it, and then ZSJL.
ZSJL, maybe Aquaman because it's canon.
Yeah, but four.
Okay.
So yeah, yes, it's canon, but like Wonder Woman directly had Zack's influence into the script and everything.
I mean,
like
it shows. It freaking.
It definitely. When you compare the two, granted, 84 had a lot of other problems, but when you compare the two, you can definitely tell. So that's why I'm like. MOS, BVS, Wonder Woman, and then ZSJL, because those ones are all like Zack movies through and through, in addition to Patty Jenkins and all that.
Yeah, I can just see it now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Justice League returning. We get like a big epic, triumphant trailer, right?
Okay, here's how I could see it. Now, how do you guys see him announcing this?
What he does is,
go ahead, Nick.
You have Michael Cornsweat. He goes on talking about like.
No, they're not gonna talk. They're not gonna bash it.
Let me cook. So he's like, "Hey guys, sorry that like Superman Legacy only made $5 and a box of corn dogs. But the Henry cops up like, don't worry, buddy, we got this from here."
What would you think if Zack brought back Patty Jenkins for Wonder Woman 3? I'll be fine with that as long as Zack is involved in it, because that was the problem. That was one of the problems with Wonder Woman 2 is that when you cut Zack out completely, you get that. Wonder Woman 1 turned out the way it was partly because of Zack's influence in the movie.
I mean, I will also say the fact that Jeff Johns was in the kitchen probably didn't help.
Yeah, that too. Exactly, Brown. Because of this, we could get the original DCEU back. I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but this particular thing, anything is possible at this point, because this is telling you never say never to literally anything. Here's the thing: never say never when it comes to Zack Snyder, because remember, we all know that everyone said the Snyder Cut would never be released. It's never happening. Surprise, a-holes!
I mean, tell the series of events of like one thing, like it's not going to happen. It doesn't exist. Oh, it doesn't. Like, tell them how that went down.
Okay, so what happened is that Zack leaves, and then Justice League comes out and bombs. Then he starts posting on Vero all of the stuff that what was supposed to happen, and it's stuff that like it's too far completed and stuff. And then you look at like he posted stuff like during Justice League with like Gal doing ADR. And normally in the pipeline for movies, you don't do ADR until you have like a rough cut of the movie put together, because you don't want to have to like do ADR for a scene and then have to cut it out completely. But you're like, so they had that. Then it went on. So people said there is no like completed cut of Justice League. And Zack goes, no, there is a cut together. And even Jason Momoa is like, oh yeah, the Snyder Cut exists. I've seen it. So, and this is why you had so many news articles go against Zack as soon as the Snyder Cut was released, because they were all like, these fans, it's a pipe dream. They're never going to release the Snyder Cut. And then they were proven very wrong because of that. So, especially since Gunn has yet to announce it. No, I think they will. I think they will, Atchison. I think they will, because this is, I mean, because particularly if he says, I'm not going to use Gal as Wonder Woman, just put it with Zack and say, okay, she's your Wonder Woman. There you go. Can you imagine if they get two DC universes going simultaneously? So that way, everyone that likes James Gunn's movies can go watch James Gunn's movies. Everyone that likes Zack's movies can go watch Zack's movies. Everyone's happy. You have then succeeded in bringing the DC fan base together, because there's no reason why we have to choose. The audience can tell the difference between Henry Cavill and David Cornsweet.
I got something to say. Since they announced Zack is coming back to WB, right? The stocks have gone up in WBD stock. Take a look at this. Take a look on Twitter.
It's almost like that's telling you something. But so why were they against the Snyder Cut? Okay, so it was really it's really because they didn't think the cut was going to happen, and then afterwards they started to blame Zack for what happened. Mad Max says, "I want the Snyder story to be completed." So do we, brothers. So do we.
Wait, is that Mad Max Movies Entertainment?
No, I don't think so. Because Tevia, the whole concept of these two universes competing is asinine. Because here's why: WB and DC Studios still gets the money. The money is still going to one place. It's not like Zack gets that money and WB gets that money. I'm sorry. That whole concept of like it's going to compete with James Gunn's universe is stupid. Whoever came up with that is stupid. Not you, Tevia.
Here's the thing. I hate to rain on your parade, but if they're movies, they will be competing. Okay, if you're doing like Zack Snyder is like the streaming stuff for either Netflix or HBO Max, then yes, they're not competing. But if you're doing movies, then yes, they are competing. They are directly competing. And that is one where they are right.
All right. Well, Brown says, but will WB like on DCU share with Zack Snyder's DCU? Well, in terms of like to next point, if they make everything streaming and they just tell them it's all series and everything like that, you're good to go.
Well, my thing is, even if like David Zaslav is fall for this plan, the question becomes, is James Gunn for it? Because if James Gunn is against it and doesn't want to play ball, that can make things very complicated.
But again, if Zaslav wants to do it, he's in charge of it.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, yes, Zaslav could overrule them, but James Gunn still has power. Like, James Gunn still has influence and sway, and he can make it very difficult. He could be obstructions, is what I'm saying.
We'll see. But the point is, I just want to get to the point where they announce it first. Then we'll deal with obstructionist James Gunn. But yeah,
I personally don't think they're going to move forward with anything Zack Snyder while James Gunn is still in the picture. I just don't see that happening. It's like, I think like we all kind of agree. Superman is probably going to be a one and done movie because this movie is not looking too hot, and James Gunn is going to be out the door very quickly. I think this is my speculation, and I think even James Gunn knows this. They're basically getting Zack Snyder back into the door as prepping him as a replacement.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry for the long rant.
No, it's all good. And Tavia brings up a good point because here's the thing. As quoting David Zaslav, it's show business. There's no show friends. So to Nick's point, if Superman does not perform, James Gunn is not, because it's ironic that James Gunn's contract expires when Superman is released. So if Superman doesn't release, they're going to show James Gunn the door as the president of DC Studios, the co-CEO. It's going to be like, nope, you're done. You told me it should perform well. It's not performing well. Get out.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you invited Robert, for example, who hates... Robert doesn't hate Zack Snyder. He just dislikes some creative choices he made with Jonathan Kent. That's it.
To be fair, I don't like some of the creative choices that John Kent made. I've been very vocal about it. So
look at it this way. Say what you want about Robert. He defended the Superman killing Zod. So...
yeah. What the point I'm trying to make is you can dislike or disagree with certain stuff, like certain choices that Zack made. Like we've had this discussion. There's parts that me and Jared disagree on. Like, I don't like the tornado scene. I dislike Martha. You know, the I don't know thing is a little bit iffy. But I still like Zack Snyder. And yeah, Jared likes them. But you know what? That just makes things more interesting.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine if people disagree with me as long as you're not an a-hole about it, which...
Jared, how dare you think differently than me? How dare
I know. Screw you, Nick. There was a precedent...
Screw you and your superior-ships.
Yeah, there was a precedent to a studio trying to pander to two different crowds within the same genre. The Harry Palmer trilogy was created at the same time James Bond's movies got wackier. Oh, Nick... Okay. Why did you say that name? So you know what, Atchison? I give you this, my good sir.
Why did you say that name?
What name did I say?
No, you said Martha.
You said Martha. So.
Oh dear God.
So we kind of had to. So there you go.
Yeah, I brought that up on myself.
But that's my point. And Nick, you are right. It is interesting how all this stuff about Zack being back at WB. And obviously, this doesn't mean he's not going to do stuff at Netflix with Rebel Moon stuff. It just means he's not exclusive to Netflix anymore. It just means he's going to work with both, which I knew. Go ahead.
Dude's a free agent.
Mm-hmm. He can do whatever he wants.
I have a crazy discussion I want to do. Okay,
go ahead.
Let's say Zack gets a call and he says, "Hi, Zack. This is Kevin Feige."
Ha!
So, if Zack were to direct a Marvel property,
Squadron Supreme,
Jared, I will kill you.
With Henry Cavill as Hyperion, Gal Gadot as Power Princess, Ben Affleck as Nighthawk, Wayne D. Carr as Professor, what's his name? No, Prism, and Dylan O'Brien as the Wizard.
I'm going to take One Woman's Lasso and slap it around your neck so hard you'll be seeing stars.
First of all, is it confirmed? Well, it's confirmed that they're in the process of doing that and that they want Zack to do it, that they're in active discussions to do it.
And it's coming from Variety, so we know Variety is a reliable source.
Yeah.
Variety would not be reporting it the way they were if it were not at least very far in the process.
So while it's not confirmed, it comes from a trusted source.
Well, let me put it this way: the very fact that he's having conversations with WB about coming back is big. That is big. Right now, Zack should direct Daredevil. That too. He did say that if there's a Marvel project he would want to do is Daredevil and Elektra.
Oh! It's Daredevil starring Ben Affleck.
I see what
He
you did
directs
there.
a sequel to the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. That'd be
Yes,
hilarious.
with Colin Farrell as Bullseye.
No, they're not the Justice Lords, because the Squadron Supreme, actually, depending on the version, are not evil. If you go with the Grunwald version, they're not evil. They're just misguided. If you go with the Jason Aaron Heroes Reborn Squadron Supreme, maybe you could kind of make the argument. If you're going with the All New All Different Squadron Supreme, which was one of the only good books for All New All Different, you definitely could. It definitely is right up Zach's alley.
Oh God.
But
So let's pretend, please,
Oh.
for the love of God, that Squadron Supreme doesn't. Okay, yeah. Well, you got to pry it away from Tom McFarlane.
Zack Snyder directing a Witchblade movie.
Okay, here's a question for you: who plays Sarah?
Gal
Not
Gadot.
a-
I'm only kidding.
Then Sydney Sweeney is not an option
Yeah.
Sorry.
because I know you all say Sydney Sweeney.
So I was going to bring this up, right? If it's confirmed, double confirmed, I mean, that Zach is working with Warner Brothers on the 300 TV show, right? This means, right, that most likely that this is one step that they're going to go in the right direction. right?
Exactly.
And-
Because again, he's talking to WB. That is very important.
Talking directly to them, probably talking to David Zaslav, maybe Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca,
Mhm.
because you got to remember those guys are in charge. And if this turns out a turnaround for WBD, imagine what would be the future, Jared. No selling of the company, then. Just thinking. You know what I mean?
We mean that this would essentially cancel out the sale.
Yeah, because you guys are making money.
I think we're kind of getting a little bit carried away here.
I don't think that would happen, Taladia. I think a
Is it?
sale is happening either way.
It's just wishful thinking.
That's true, but
Yeah.
I do think that the sale is going to happen either way. Now, if the new owners are smart, they'll openly court Zack Snyder and say, "Yes, we're buying WB. Come back."
I do think, they might say like, oh yeah, Zach's here. He's already kind of developing. We've already got him in the building. He's already kind of drafting some plans for his comeback thing. Like our most successful period in like the last 20 years. That could be a sales tactic as well if you think about it.
That could be, and saying, "Hey, we're making amends with a director that we screwed over last time." So, what?
No, the thing is as part of a sales pitch, it's like, yeah, Zach's already developing his own thing. So it's not like, oh yeah, we'd want Zach back, do a thing. Like, no, he's already here. He's already working on it.
Plus, it's also a good public relations thing because it's a bearing of the hatchet. Because that was a big black eye to Warner Brothers and their like reputation when all that went down. So once again, because of this rumor, I'm just going to go ahead and play this because I feel like it's appropriate right now.
Okay, can I go crazy for a second?
Yeah.
Have you ever not?
No, this is extra crazy. So, Disney comes to Zack Snyder and they say, "Hey, there's this movie that we want you to make, and the original creator, he's kind of a hack job. You probably know him, Zach. We'd like you to direct a Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie."
No, it'd be
Admit it.
hilarious.
Come on, admit it. Zach would do a great Buffy movie.
No, it'd be hilarious if Zach does Guardians of the Galaxy.
But no. Hear me out. Zach does a Buffy movie.
I don't want anything with associated with Joss Whedon getting any play.
No. It's an FU. Like he actually does it well.
Because he still gets he still would get residuals. Not doing that.
Oh.
Are we getting the cast from 300 moving the show? I would imagine some of the people will return. I would imagine. Hunter S. Viltrumites, we are mortal, we are unstoppable. We kill the lead. We murder other superheroes. There is no weakness for us. Join or die. Yeah, exactly. Zack Snyder's Firefly. Yeah. Buffy is too cringy for me. No, but again, I don't want anything associated with that individual with he who must not be named to get any play because then he profits from it. No.
But I'll say this, right? I think what we got to look at is the fact that Zack's back. That's the main thing.
That's the key thing here. That's the key thing here.
Zack is back, and he's back to stay, right? And the good thing is, this shows to Warner Brothers that the fans are excited for 300 again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this means they'll go back, watch 300, they'll support that movie, and they'll,
the graphic novel sales are going to go through the roof.
Yeah, exactly.
The graphic novels will go up off the roof. Yeah, exactly. So, and this will say to Zaslav, okay, you know what? You made so much money for me. You work for DC now. You work on a DC project.
Here's the stocks right now for WBD.
The tribe has spoken. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the people have spoken.
Okay. Okay, this is not as crazy, but I think it's more palatable. So Zack is back, but he's using some of James Gunn's characters. Like, they make it like he uses Peacemaker, and he's actually good, and it's John Cena.
Or Peacemaker is the first one to be killed by Superman. I would love that.
I'm sorry, but like, I kind of want Zack to be like not be vindictive, please.
Or how about this? Don't use Peacemaker. I'm sick and tired of Peacemaker appearing everywhere.
No. My thing is, he uses Peacemaker, but he actually makes him cool and interesting. That's the FU.
I don't want Peacemakers. I don't want the Snyderverse being sullied by Peacemaker. And by the way, Tevia, I just answered that question throughout the entire stream. So yeah, exactly for that. But and also Black Adam goes by. No, I'm pretty sure that it's like
that's canon.
I'm pretty sure you can have Black Adam show up.
You can have that canon.
Yeah, you can have that.
No, he actually fights Shazam in this movie.
Oh, yeah. I just had the thought. They bring back the Justice Society of America through Zack Snyder.
Oh,
and in this okay. Since Hawkman is black, I want Halle Berry as Hawkgirl.
That could work. That could work.
Because
the Hawkman a redemption for Catwoman.
Like, I'm sorry, because like since the Hawkman is black already, like let's make like Halle Berry can do Hawkwoman, especially since this Hawkman is a little bit older. Mm-hmm. I can totally see Halle Berry working as Hawkwoman.
She brings someone into like the atmosphere and goes, you know what happens to someone when they're struck by lightning?
Oh dear God!
The same thing that happens to everyone else.
Yeah, Tevia, trust me. If they were able to do like Justice League Part 2 and 3, right? You could bring back the Justice Society of America. You could bring Pierce Brosnan back. No, not Pierce Brosnan. You could bring.
Zack Snyder.
I mean, yes, they're going to bring back Pierce Brosnan. They will.
They need to, because that was just such a great casting.
Yeah.
That was so. Hey Nick, how about Zack Snyder directing Constantine and Zatanna?
Oh boy, don't let JJheat on.
The visuals. Just think of the visuals. No. Mm-hmm. Zack Snyder produces a Justice League Dark movie. Ooh. Oh, no. Sam Raimi directs Justice League Dark, produced by Zack Snyder.
Oh, yes.
I just struck gold, and you know it.
That would work very well.
Say what you will, the Multiverse of Madness. It is probably the best looking Phase 4 movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, so we could do that. Now let's go to a general Q&A, so you guys can ask us anything you would like.
Wonderbat.
Just recast Black Adam with Dwayne The Rock Johnson if he does want to play ball with Zachary Levi. Yeah.
Recast Zachary Levi as well. That's my option.
But by the way, we also had X-Men 97. We also had Bo DeMayo praising Man of Steel throughout last weekend. So you know what? That was good. So here we go. Nolan and Snyder should be back in charge of the DCEU. That would be interesting.
That would be cool.
Like, I'm sure Warner Brothers would love to have Nolan in charge, but I'm not sure if he's interested.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they jump at the chance to have Nolan lead it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
You
I
know,
guarantee you, if Nolan called him up, say, "Hey, I'd like to lead Warner Brothers." 1 second. Hey, James Gunn, get the F out of here.
You know, I can't wait to hear what William has to say from the Sci-Fi Center about this.
Oh boy, yeah. Even so, William, our friend William from the Sci-Fi Stand, we've been on his podcast. He goes, "Never say never. This is why you never say never. Money talks." And yeah, I guess this also means that Rebel Moon did not bomb as people say it did, because if it bombed, would WB be trying to get Zack Snyder back?
Also, Netflix still wants to work with Zack. I think they've announced other projects.
Yeah,
Exactly. So this whole idea that it's kind of funny. But I see so many antis posting on Twitter. Why does Zack keep getting work? He's so horrible. Maybe it's because people like him, and his movies aren't as bad as you think they are.
Like, yes, his movies don't do as well, but here's the thing: Zack is notorious. He is infamous throughout the industry for being a nice guy.
Yeah, literally
sorry,
no one. Yes, I know, Nick. Literally no one. I've never heard of anyone that had a bad experience working with Zack Snyder.
Like, literally everyone who's worked with Zack Snyder raves about him.
What if the DCU studio and DCU studio can work together? Oh, you mean can't work together? Well, then it's up to Zaslav, because depending on what the money is.
money talks, Hunter. Money talks.
Yeah.
When it comes down to DC.
Zack is lighting a cigar in a mountain of cash like Joker in the Dark Knight. Yeah, he's right now. He's just on his cash throne going, "I love being me."
And
So you're saying it's not about the money; it's about sending a message.
Wait. I just had a thought. What if Zack does Papa Snyder again? That barbecue thing that he did in
That
300.
would be so good. Honestly, instead of trying to create a cinematic universe, they should try to make direct adaptations of the most popular DC comic stories. They could. The problem with that is that they need to have is that a lot of creators and directors want to put their stamp on these stories, and they want to change them to put their own stamp. So that's the problem with doing that. Now, are the directors that adapt stuff well, like Snyder, like Nolan, like who else? Because I don't think Gunn adapts stuff well, because all he does is he takes comic books and puts a bunch of swearing and fart jokes in them. The dude who did the Russo brothers, I think, did Winter Soldier well in Civil War. I think that if Zack is back, he would say no interruption. Brown brings up an interesting point. I think that let's say they approach Zack and said, "Can you complete your DC movies?" I think part of Zack's conditions would be, "I don't want any interference from. I want to be able to do this the way I plan to. I don't want any interference like last time." And honestly,
Batman Under the Red Hood, directed by the Russo brothers.
Yes, there you go. That's good. I love that. And then I could see WB saying, "Okay, you know what?" And Zaslav will go to James Gunn and say, "You can't interfere with this."
Oh, I just saw something on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Currently, the person who's in charge of Warner Brothers Television chairman and CEO is Channing Dungey. Dungy.
Yeah.
So she's in charge, and apparently she's maybe the one that brings Zack back into the fold.
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, this is the pieces are falling together. And you know what? I'll play this clip again.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
You know,
I called it.
We've been talking a lot about like a restoration of the SnyderVerse. What if they bring in Snyder to create something new? Now, allow me to cook for a second. So we know that Matt Reeves is carving out the TV stuff. What if they bring in Snyder to work with Reeves to build out his end of the universe? So it's basically Reeves and Snyder teaming up to create a new version, a new DC universe with the Pattinson as like the starting point.
Well, they could do that after Zack completes his stories, because obviously I want Zack to complete his stories, and maybe after that
I
say, hey,
get
look
that,
at that.
but I'm just doing an alternate kind of like take on this. Like, what if they're trying to move forward and they're basically bringing him in to work with Matt Reeves? I think that's a very likely scenario. Like, I'm just going to call it right now. I think
either way,
that is a very strong possibility. Now, this is all speculation. I'm just going to say that.
I am down for Zack Snyder's new DCU. I think Zack knows they're bringing him back to complete a story, because why else would he change the timeline from 5 years to 10 years?
And why would he
Also
post that?
approaching 10 years?
Also, Geek Detective kind of raised an interesting question. Who would you cast Harvey Bullock in the Reeves version?
I don't know. I'm not as familiar with Harvey Bullock as other people enough to do that.
Yeah. But you know what I was going to say is that
what's your other hey Hunter, go ahead and drop your comment again. I probably missed it. Go ahead, Saladia.
I was going to say that if Zack when Zack comes back, right, I think it'd be interesting to see him, obviously it says change it from 5 to 10 years, right, for the thing, but also that you got to remember he had that picture posted just today, right? So what if this was already planned like a few days ago? Just think about it, Jared.
I can see that.
Remember, it's a Friday. Well, it's Saturday for me. It's Friday for you guys, right? So it's like, what if you already planned this like a few days ago? Like, oh, take the picture.
I mean, like, these kind of deals, they take time. So, like, I'm sure Zack is like, he's been working on this deal for probably at least a few weeks now. So, I'm gonna say what Taladia is saying is plausible.
Yeah, you can't tell me they haven't at least mentioned this in the negotiation, saying, hey, if this is good, we could possibly bring you back for DC. You can't tell me this hasn't been brought up at one point.
Plus, they know that a lot of tickets were sold for Full Circle, so they know that if Full Circle was a big success, then they could...
I mean, let's be honest, the SnyderVerse is just like, outside of Aquaman and Joker, the SnyderVerse is literally the only thing that's made money. Like,
for DC in the past. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Like to quote, BVS made more money than the Batman before adjusting for inflation.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, so it's kind of funny. Tabby brings up this thing about Zack Snyder doing Dragon Ball Z. Do you know that Zack Snyder was one of the directors that was in the running to direct that Dragon Ball Evolution movie?
Oh, it had a chance of actually being good.
Yeah, exactly.
remind me of that film.
Probably too old at this point, but John Goodman is Harvey Bullock.
Yeah, he's too old.
This
is like this is even like 2000s, maybe like 90s for sure, but like, yeah, he's too old. Sorry.
Good. Doomsday. Yeah, I know. Doomsday Clock sounds like a good idea. It's just he won't do it because of Jeff Johns.
Yeah,
I mean, if money talks, like we're saying.
True. I mean,
plus it's like, hey Zack, if Watchmen thing goes well, if you play ball, maybe we'll do some Justice League.
But you know what would be interesting? What if they can't bring back Ryan Reynolds for Green Lantern? How about Glenn Powell to play Hal Jordan?
Yeah, we've talked.
He did say though. He did say he's not interested in doing like superhero movies. So, I mean, obviously, yeah. To quote Nick, money talks, and I could definitely see him being Hal Jordan. He kind of has that swagger.
Also, I just want to note that like, apparently, Timothée Chalamet got some advice from Leonardo DiCaprio, and that advice was no superhero movies. And I gotta say that's kind of paid off for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's in Dune, so that definitely worked out for him. Okay, casting John Favreau,
Spider-Man's girl, so
casting John Favreau as Harvey Bullock and letting him direct a movie would be a huge middle finger to Disney. Yeah, I believe that just like Watchmen, Zack Snyder would give Doomsday a better ending than the comics. That'd be interesting. Hunter, I told you repost your comment in the chat, because for some reason, if you're reposting it, I'm not seeing it.
Also, I will say I do think Jon Favreau would make a decent Harvey Bullock.
Yeah, I think that I could work. So So what other questions do you all have for us? It could be about this. It could be about anything you guys want to talk about.
You could ask me about 20 Samurai.
Yeah, exactly.
You can ask me about gaming. I can answer those questions for you.
Claudia, I have a question for you.
Go on.
Why are you so awesome?
Well,
yeah, that's something I've wondered myself, Claudia.
Yeah, like, why are you so awesome, dude?
Let's just
what is
say,
your secret?
Well, my secret is just I've got a good brain and a good sense of humor.
That works. That's how you see, that's the thing. A lot of people ask, like, how do I get like success on YouTube? You just have to figure out what your thing is. Have you guys tried multiverses now that's back? I have. It's really fun. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
See, Jared's thing is he's very passionate about his ships to the point where he will kill you if you say the wrong one.
Yes, exactly. Now, and by the way,
mine is very insightful takes that people are, and also being about 2 years ahead of the curve
with old people. Yeah, exactly. Jared, look at your Discord. I'm gonna send a picture of a potential Bullock actor. Okay, I sent a comment on All-Star. Oh, okay, yeah. If Zach, see, I think he could improve All-Star Batman and Robin. Honestly.
Which, by the way, that's next on Comic Swap.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be a really, really funny thing. No, I can't see this. I can't see this.
So,
detective.
So I was gonna bring this up, right? So, we were talking behind the scenes and whatnot. Imagine if the Wonder Woman game comes out at the end of this year and doubles Warner Brothers stocks in profit in the video game section.
That would be interesting, and that's a big FU to Suicide Squad. Because here's the thing: as far as we know, Wonder Woman is not a live service game. So,
actually, speaking of Suicide Squad, Jared, can you do me a favor? Can you please pull up the plot synopsis for Thunderbolts?
Oh yeah, it's pretty much Suicide.
Wait, no. I want to do the bit. Just read it for me. Tell me if it seems familiar.
Plot synopsis. Let me see. Okay, so let me actually find one. A group of supervillains are recruited to go on missions for the government.
What is that? Doesn't that sound familiar to you?
I don't know. What are they? Some type of Suicide Squad?
Oh my god!
So, question: is there any updates on the Ultimate Universe?
No.
I mean the Marvel one. I mean,
no. They mean the DC one. They mean the DC one. I would say so far, not yet. Let me put it to you that way. Question: how would you guys feel about Snyder directing a Crisis on Infinite Earths movie?
Sure.
Yep, if he wants to do it. I think visually, a movie like Crisis, I think he could. Like this way, if Zach were directing The Flash, they would have actually those ending scenes would have looked really good.
I mean, it wouldn't have looked like a PS2 cutscene.
I had a better idea. What if Zack Snyder does part 2 and 3, and then does a Flashpoint film, like completely redo the Flash film, right?
That's not going to happen for at least another 10 years, in my opinion.
I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's my opinion, but you feel different.
I just heard that Supergirl would appear in Gunn's Superman movie. He's gone back and forth on that so many times.
Yeah.
Dave said,
I mean, I wouldn't mind like a cameo to set her up or anything, but like, I don't know. Like that movie is so overstuffed. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see Mrs. Freeze? Yes, I did, Dave. I did see that.
The Mrs. Freeze design looks so bad. And I'm like, this is why your game had the negative reaction. This is one of the reasons.
It's not, Jared, it's not only that design. Even Deadshot's daughter looks really bad, and so does Deathstroke.
Wait. They have the designs for those revealed?
It got leaked online, yeah.
See, this is like, I know you guys like the game. I get it. But like, this is like my biggest problem is they're doing the multiverse excuse of like, oh, it's multiverse, so we can do whatever we want.
Hold on, I'll send you via Discord. Not Discord, Twitter DMs. Is that all right with you?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Twitter DC? All right, I'm gonna send you. So, in your DMs.
Yeah. Let me see. Where is that?
This
I
is.
am awaiting the link.
That's the first one.
Okay, let me see this. Oh God!
What is it?
Okay. Can I show it?
Yeah, you might as well. It's already leaked out. So
this is the look for. So this is the look for Deadshot's daughter.
The hell?
It looks too memey. And then this is Deathstroke.
Too many lines.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get what they're going for with Deathstroke, but okay. Let's see. Yeah, I just pulled them up, and I'm like, what the heck is that?
this was posted.
It's one thing if they do race swaps, but make them look like ugly like that. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So, did you guys? Yeah, I saw that. I'm just getting caught up in the comments. It would make it and not look like. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Is there any update in the Ultimate Universe? I'm just going through to make sure I got caught up on all the comments. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'm caught up. Yeah, she looks like a man. Exactly. That's a problem there.
That's a
I'm like,
man, baby.
who is designing that? I'm like, oh my god.
This is
probably
why
probably the same person that's doing the character designs for My Adventure with freaking Superman.
Let's just say the people designing it, they're quite the sweet babies.
Dave, like, here's the thing for you guys, right? The full responsibility on Suicide Squad 4 solely responsible is Sefton Hill and Jamie Walker. Those two individuals were the people that basically said, yes, we want to make a Suicide Squad game over a Justice League game or another Batman game, because I'm just like, you guys could have made a lot of money on a Justice League game over a Suicide Squad game.
I mean, not only that, but like, remember, before Gotham Knights, I think it was supposed to be a Batman Beyond game, and then at one point it's supposed to be a Damian Wayne game, like an actual Arkham thing where it was starring Damian Wayne becoming Batman.
The fun fact for you, that Damian Wayne game wasn't even going to be an Arkham game, according to Josh Keaton, who was going to be the voice of Damian.
It was going to be an Arkham game?
Yeah,
it was. It was going to be a sequel to Night.
No, Jared, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
No. What's it called? Josh Keaton said in a live stream that it was going to be a separate universe. It wasn't going to be connected to Arkham at all.
So it wasn't an Arkham game.
It wasn't an Arkham game, no.
Okay.
Interesting. By the way, Dave asks, I knew there was one I missed. Jared, Nick, have you guys seen 300 Part 2? I did. Not as good as the first one. Enjoyable, but not as good as Zach's one. Batman Arkham Apocalypse, I would take any day over Suicide Squad. Okay. I would like it to not be like VR, but that's besides the point. Guys, we should get a Harvey Bullock. Harvey Bullock does not have... Here's the problem, Geek Detective. Harvey Bullock does not have the name recognition. You're literally doing...
We'd sooner get a Jim Gordon.
They could do a Gordon movie, but here's the problem. What you're doing, Geek Detective, is exactly what James Gunn is doing. Throwing out random characters.
You know what they should do? They should do a TV show with like James Gordon just starting out, but also... you have like young Bruce Wayne, like just wait, that's I was
about to say, so you're saying it should take place in Gotham?
Sorry.
Which, by the way, I'm watching that.
Setting up a joke.
I'm watching that with my dad. It's actually pretty good. Have you guys seen the supposed Red Hulk leaks? If the photo leaked is real, he looks bad. Oh God. Well, this is the MCU recently, so I really don't. It's like, what the hell is going on?
I was gonna bring this up, right? With the fact that, you know, we've got so many good games coming out at the end of this year, right? What is going to be your favorite game to come out? Personally?
In terms of like of general games that are coming out?
Yeah, general.
Well, let's see, because there's a lot that I have my mind on. I mean, they just announced a new Call of Duty, which I'm intrigued because I'm waiting for more information. What I am excited. Let's see what else was coming out that I was really excited. Actually, you know what, Taladi, I'll start with you.
Okay, so for me personally, I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to Marvel Rivals, but I'm also looking forward to the Wonder Woman game whenever that releases, right? And also looking to Marvel 1943. Some news on that.
Oh, that looks so good. And plus,
I gotta say, it's that. It's definitely that.
check private chat.
We need to how about Giancarlo? Yeah. Apparently Giancarlo Esposito got added as Captain America. You think he's playing the bad guy?
Well, no, they said he's playing a major villain, but the fact they haven't said who, it's a bit concerning. So I thought we could speculate who he could be playing. Now, he's made a lot of noise about playing Magneto. I wouldn't put it past Marvel to try and so basically the options are he could be Magneto, Doctor Doom. What other options are there for him to play?
Okay, in terms of okay, I'm gonna go off of Captain America villains. So we've already had Red Skull and Crossbones, so it's not gonna be those ones. They destroyed Flag Smasher, but I'll be right back. Let me see here.
Because I mean, to be fair, that guy is a pretty big role. I don't think it's just going to be a one-off role.
Yeah, it can't be a one-off villain. The problem is the MCU has done that before.
Van Stucker was in, I think he was used in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, so he was already, and he's dead, actually. So it's not like they could recast him.
I think Doctor Doom is, as much as I don't like it, that's a fairly good bet, because I could see him being like someone they'd want to keep around as like, or hear me out, he's the new Kang.
Oh, I could see that. That would be cool.
Basically, they recast it because, let's be honest, him as Kang would be a lot better.
That would work, and actually, it's not bad. Plus, here's the thing: like Jonathan Majors, he can play a menacing character. Like he was already they would basically just have to tell him. So you know how you played that the Grand Moff Gideon and Mandalorian? Do that.
If I can be honest, I kind of wish Mahershala Ali would play Kang. He's perfect for Kang.
Oh, okay. So I want to talk about this. Did you guys hear that? Like Mahershala Ali is probably gonna be exiting the Blade project.
How hard is it? Okay, so the problem is they've been having doing this script. I think the issue is Blade as a movie is R-rated by nature. They're trying to take the Blade format and put it into their PG-13 kind of thing, and they've been having trouble creating a good movie in the standard Marvel cookie cutter form. And I think that's the issue, because you can't really do Blade in PG-13. It just doesn't really work. And if you do PG-13, it's going to be a heavy PG-13. Like, yes, Marvel has been getting a bit darker. Like, Wakanda Forever was pushing the envelope a good deal. Eternals also a little bit in terms of like content, but like Blade is, if you do PG-13, it's going to be riding that line hard.
Yeah, and Atchison, I agree with you on this. Here's what Britt and I have always said. At this point, it doesn't make sense for them to just cast a generic white actress to play Wonder Woman.
Ashley Vikander as Wonder Woman.
Okay, they should cast someone that's exotic. And
Ashley
honestly,
Vikander.
No,
Dude,
can't see it. But what I mean is that
Laura Croft.
What I mean is that it has to be exotic and have an accent, and preferably one that sounds like it's from the Mediterranean.
Ashley Vikander.
Okay, enough. Look at Dredd. That's all a Blade movie needs to be. Blade fighting his way through a skyscraper or a giant castle, rescue some kids or something like that. Yeah,
so
and
you're saying that Blade needs to rip off the Raid again, like Dredd did.
Yeah, exactly. You know it's hilarious. By the way, we are gonna cover that Dredd movie, the Carl Urban Dredd movie on Comics League. We need to, because A, that's a comic book movie, and B, that's a damn good comic book movie.
I'm surprised we haven't done it already.
You know what? Who wants to pick that as their pick for this month?
I volunteer as tribute.
All right, so what we're going to do, so before we wrap up, I'll give you guys the lineup for movies. So this Saturday, we're doing Batman Ninja.
Thanks to me.
And then next week, we'll do Blade. We'll do Blade. Jeez. We'll do Dread. We'll do Dread. There you go. And in terms of like other movies, we'll figure this out. And then in terms of like, so for my pick, we're gonna do Halo: Fall of Reach, which is basically the animated movie that's like that like shows the origin of the Spartan program and the Master Chief. So it'll give a little more like, yeah, what's up?
That pick is quite a reach.
Thank you. I know I'm really reaching for that. Thank you. But all in all, I hope you guys had a fantastic time with the stream. It was really fun doing this, and I'm very happy right now. And it's like for this way. I said this. This was my catchphrase throughout the early ages of Comics League, so I might as well do it now. It's about to be a damn good time to be a DC fan. I haven't said that for a while, but if everything is falling into place the way I think it is, it's about to be a damn good time. Because again,
the only thing I fear,
yeah,
is we thought things were falling into place around Black Adam. Like, don't get me wrong, those few months were very blissful. Like, oh my god, I was on cloud 9, and I'm very cautious this go around.
I understand that. Now, okay, all I'm gonna say is. That's why I say if. I'm not saying it is, because back then I was like, it's falling into place. No, I'm just saying if it's falling into place, I think it's going to be good. And Dave, yes, I have read Yaira. That'll be in my Wednesday video. I read it, and I very much enjoyed it. They did a great job. Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. Here you go. Yaira, cover D.
Highlight
right here. Oh, yeah. It is such a good book. I very much enjoy. I'm trying to highlight myself. Where is it? Okay, here we go. I really love this book. It's solid, and the way that they let me put it this way: Yaira's origin is very cool.
Okay, here's my question for you, Jared. Are you getting the statue? Mr. Hot Toys.
No, he's got to get a.
Wait, jeez. I have to see.
No, Jared has to get another Batman toy.
I have to get the Revan Hot Toy. Get off my back. Jeez. If they do like a drawing for one, I'll enter the drawing. Or if I get a like discount code, maybe I'll try it out. We'll see. But the point is, I might as well start self promos. I'll go first. So Britt and I for Super Wonder Legacy are going to be merging DC with Blood of Zeus. So that's what we're doing there. For the Wednesday video, I'm going to be reviewing Yaira. And then for Under Two Capes, I'm going to be hanging out with Robert Willing, and we are going to discuss the effect Frank Miller has had on DC Comics. And in terms of, again,
Monday.
Movie night next week is I'm getting to there. Movie night next week is Dread. Now on Monday is the Comic Historian stream. Yes, Comic Historian will be coming on my channel Monday at 3:30 EST to talk about comics, to just hang out and have fun. And if you guys have any questions you guys would like me to ask Comic Historian, DM me on Twitter or like email me, and I'll be sure to get to as many of them as possible. Now, Nick, where can we find you, and what have we got? Oh, by the way, and yes, we would love to do that.
Funny you should say that, sir. Funny you should say it. Jared, please do the honors.
So, a little something that Nick and I have been working on for my campaign when it's prepared. When the book is done and the campaign is live, as a stretch goal, Nick and I are going to be offering a very special thing. We're going to be offering a bonus comic.
Can I take from here, please?
Go ahead.
All right. So I am editing Jared's book. And by the way, it's actually really good. You guys are going to love it, first off.
And by the way, if you guys need an editor for any of your projects, this guy right here. Oh,
yes. I am pretty reasonable as far as fees. But so as a stretch goal, we haven't determined the number yet, but as a stretch goal, there will be a crossover between Athena and Screecher, like plotted by me and Jared, and then written by me, and this will be part of Jared's comics. So if you want to see Screecher and Athena team up, get please back the ever loving crap out of Jared's campaign when it drops.
Yeah, it's gonna be really. It's gonna be really fun. It's a good comic that I put my heart and soul into. If you guys are fans of Zack Snyder-y stuff and Super Wonder, you guys are gonna love the crap out of this book.
And like I said, I'm editing the script, and so as a person who has read it, I'm just gonna say this: y'all are gonna love it.
Oh, interesting. And I go pretty crazy in the subsequent issues as well. All right, so for those of you that want to know how far in advance I have, if this series is successful, I have plans for 12 issues.
Oh my God, Dave!
Yeah.
Tyler, Dave.
God damn it, Dave!
It's already started.
No! God
Screech
damn it,
Athena.
Dave! Why do you do this to me?
Dave, I love you so much right now. Please, don't forget
All right,
that.
Nick, where can we find you, and what have you got coming on your channel, my brother?
All right, y'all know my Twitter and YouTube. I say that all the time. Tomorrow, with Jared and Tone and the rest of the crew, I'll be playing some Witcher 3 with a very familiar head swap. Let's just say things are going to be quite super. Yes, I'm going to be playing Witcher 3 with a Henry Cavill face swap mod. So if you want to see Henry Cavill as a proper Witcher, tune in tomorrow on the Phoenix Press at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Jared will be there to mock my every move.
Oh, and since the question is, Nick, are you going to be also continuing your Sonic Adventure 2 gameplay?
There's one more episode in the books. I have to wrap up the hero and villain story and then do the crossover. So I get one more episode on Tuesday.
If you guys want to see horrendous Sonic Adventure 2 gameplay, sub to Phoenix Press.
Emphasis on horrendous. And if you want to see Nick's go insane, like he starts off sweet and innocent by the start of the stream, by the end he's literally calling me a F and F head. Like he's just dropping F bombs left and right. I torture that poor girl.
All right, all right, Taladia.
Nick, if you're in the chat, I love you.
So, Taladia, where can we find you, and what have you got coming on the channel?
So you guys can follow me on Twitter at @TaladiaPlays_. And if you want to check me out on YouTube, is at Taladia Plays. What I've got coming up on my channel is my Summer Game Fest predictions video. That is going to be posted on Sunday, so expect that out. And also, I'm going to be doing next week's Snyder Fans Read Comics on Wednesday with Jared. And we might do multiverses on Tuesday. We'll see. We'll see how Jared feels, if he's available for Tuesday for that. And then myself and JJheat are going to be collabing, as we're going to be talking about Sparking Zero. So there's that to look forward to.
Dave, I wonder if fans will deepfake the new season of The Witcher with Henry Cavill's face and voice.
That's going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
But anyway, also I was going to say on my channel, I will be doing a reaction live stream on my Twitch page for Summer Game Fest. That's going to happen on Friday. And then obviously I'm with the lads, usual times, for everything else that Jared does. So expect that. Oh, my adventure with Superman, that's also going to be happening.
God damn it.
We're going to have to do that. You're going to have to do that on Sunday, Jared, because it comes out on Sunday. So we're going to do it on this Sunday, guys.
I got to watch the crappy character designs. And by the way, real quick, one of the things I forgot to mention, Nick and I are going to be watching that crappy, the kind of okay epilogue episode of JLU. So that is happening. Jared, did you know there was a kiss between Henry Cavill, Superman, and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman? Where?
Prove it.
Yeah, prove it. I need to know where. If you could show me where it is, I will be forever in your death, Brown Destroyer.
But
if
anyway,
you joke with me, screw you.
As I was saying, so Jared and I will be reacting to My Adventure with Superman this Sunday. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be awesome on my YouTube page. And I can't wait.
Google
I
it.
have to work on and
God
Jared's
damn
not gonna like it. He's not gonna like it. So anyway, that's what I've got coming up. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this stream with your friends. Let them know about Jared's channel. It's so much appreciated if you do that.
Also, and this message is for Dave in particular. Wonder Bats in the chat.
Stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. It belongs with General Zod. John Byrne is a pervert, and Zois and Max about for life. See you later.